Hello YouTube, small project day. It's Sunday, it is chilly out. I have my heater on, can you believe it? I had an AC going a day ago, and it's only like 65 degrees in here. I got my heater going. It's Sunday, the 15th. Hope you all enjoyed my video on the AC. We're going to fill this in with epoxy. That means we got to put a backer on this plate with some foil tape or something, because we put this tape on there. It's kind of gross. These are nice. These are them dial ones where the dial was junk and I took it apart, and you got your lock, and there's a shim in here. You take it apart, I'll show you. It's just a little long spring clip. It just makes this better looking. I had Sharpie here and here. There's that battery symbol. We'll make it through. Let's get the screws off here, and I'll show you the parts. We'll keep this small, short, because most of the work's going to be getting something behind there to hold for the epoxy to cure. Because remember, it can't be any thicker than this plate. It has to be exactly smooth in order to slide. Let's go. Work time. Okay, here we go. Here's the shim I was talking about. It's bowed. So this presses down on that railing, and here's where the screw, well, a little pin holds it. That's kind of like a set screw. Here's what locks it. See where it locks against it? So that's bowed so it locks down on this rail. Pretty self-explanatory. But that's one of the parts that's in there, because you remember, the dial mechanism, everything's gone. Now we have to figure out something flat. We're going to look for some plastic or something. We want it to be really, really flat. So when we pour the epoxy, it's nice and flat, and it can rub on this as it sets on the part. You know what I mean? We showed you already. Let's get to work. Okay, here's the idea. We're going to probably put a little bit of grease, maybe like some lip balm here. We're going to put the epoxy here and let it cure, right? Well, there's nothing going to keep it in here, okay? Because it can't stick to plastic, especially if I grease it. So we're going to put something on top of here. We're still going to get this hole filled in, okay? And then next we're going to figure out what we can put on top. We do have some foil tape. It's silver. So this will do the body work to fill the hole in case I'm not clearing it. And it's pretty good. I mean, there's a little bit of gap there, but that's just punching holes with this and tapping with my small hammer and running the same screws to the plastic. So let's grease this up so we know the epoxy won't stick to plastic very good anyway. And we'll put some epoxy. We don't care how unlevel it is, we can sand it off, because this will all be sanded off and everything. So let's back to work. Okay, before this fully cures, we're going to put a piece of foil tape over this and try to get it on there without wrinkling it, because we don't want to try to sandpaper. We got kind of sloppy with the epoxy, but wish me luck. I can get a nice flat piece of foil there, because we can always poke the holes later for the screws. So stay tuned and we'll see what happens. Okay, this might be a flop, but we got our foil tape on. We went over here. We got it loose from the plastic. And that's what it looks like. The whole idea was to make this look nicer. And it's still an indent where you can put your thumb when you slide it. It's got to look better than duct tape. See where I put the grease where it never stuck? Yeah, it worked, didn't it? Okay, let's see what else we can do. That's not quite fully cured yet. Well, I think it looks okay. I pushed this down with my finger because it did sink. And that really doesn't touch a lot without epoxy. If you figure how this goes together, if we can do this on camera, we know we can do this. how this piece fits on here. Just bear with me. See that? It doesn't touch as much as you think. That's like a railing. See this little lip? Okay, we're going to poke the holes, put the screws back in it. You can see where the tape overlapped a little bit. See that? That might be its downfall where that wears off. But I think it's going to look a lot better than a piece of duct tape on it. Okay, let's get this done. This is too long. This takes too long to do these little projects. This has been over an hour and a half letting all this stuff cure. And that stuff's still a little bit soft. It's like playing with a real stiff clay. But that's good, you can work it. I like that thumb indent. And we are done. I think this is going to go in a Sunday in the shop video. You know, it's not going to be no big, thing for people to watch. But just stuff that I do. I've already got scratches on it. It's just foil tape. But it just looks better when you use it. Let me close it up here if I can. So it looks more like the calipers are supposed to look like. There. Now lay it back down. It just looks better than having a piece of duct tape over it. Because you know that's what it looked like. This is what it looked like before. Come on, agree with me. It looks better. I don't need a pat on the back. Now, I think it looks better. That epoxy ain't going to go anywhere. It's stuck to that tape. I pushed it. And this glue on this tape some good stuff, so it's not going to fall out. So, thanks for watching this. I'm positive now this will be in Sunday in the shop. Hello YouTube, welcome to Sunday in the shop. Stay tuned and I'll show you the video of what I did here. How I put tape on there and there's epoxy in there, and hope you enjoy it. I just was bored. Show you some of the tools I was using. And we made this look a little bit better. So sit back and relax. I'm not professional. I can't do this. Okay, today we're going to make the... No, I just can't do that. You get what you get. I'm just a regular guy. I can't change for anybody. I am what I am. Okay, moving right along this Sunday. This is something I used to do in the 80s. Worked for a company one time that used foil tape that had red lettering, but you could get it off with lighter fluid. And I'd wrap it around cheaper lighters. I ordered a dozen of these like last fall of this brand, the Jeep. Because I got tired of them skinny ones. Not to knock any brands. Some of them skinny ones, I went to a cheap brand because, well, they don't light when they're cold. These you can come out here no matter how cold it is. Even if you got to turn the flame up, because they are adjustable, they will light. But, I like the size of them. They kind of remind you of a Bic lighter. But I'm thinking about making one just a little bit longer. If I could add just, and I'm thinking when one of these wear out, I'm going to do it. I'm thinking about adding not quite a ½ inch to it. Excuse my goodness hands. Because when I put it in my hand, right, see, I can have it just like a ½ inch longer. Because you feel more imagine like, oh, I think this might be turned up all the way, but I mean, I don't need a giant flame. I get these cheap ones free when I go to the casino. The casino where I go to, they sell their own, on a reservation, they sell their own brand of cigarettes. And I'm poor and that's all I can afford. But they give you a free lighter. But man, I'll tell you what, you turn that thing up, you got a 6-inch flamethrower, and that thing's going to get hot and melt and explode and everything else. But I get a kick out of that. You get free ones. So in my car, I probably got 2 or 3. I'll throw them down in the console. Here, throw it in the console and have a spare lighter. And then what I'll do is to hold down, if you look at the tip of this, not the flat edge, the very end, I'll kind of burnish this on here. I'll clean it up with a Q-tip, and some of that. I'm almost out. Look, I use, you tell them being miserly with it on a Q-tip. And get some of the glue and stuff. And this was dirty, and I didn't pay attention. I just wrapped the stuff around it, and I'm like, oh no. And you can tell the beating these take throwing up here on the desk with all the grinder dust and stuff. Look how worn they get, that plastic. Because they get thrown up here when you're doing stuff with the Dremel. If I can get over here and show you. You know, and they just get scummy. And even working out here after cleaning everything up, my hands are cleaner than I started today. But there you go, just something different. And see how I folded it over? And I did the same thing there too. See how I mashed it down to rub the edges? Well, it keeps people from stealing your lighter at work. You know, it's yours that they're trying to steal it from you. I used to do that to lighters. And kind of let it get away from you, you know, around a group of people. And then when you seen them again and see, you'd be like, hey, you stole my lighter. You know, let them have it. You know, they're like, I got his lighter. Used to be just a thing back in the day and 80s to steal someone's lighter. Everybody got such a kick out of it. See where I did that? You shine a light in the bottom, see how much fluid's in it? I was going to mention that. These all came wrapped. I thought they were blue plastic. But I wasn't too disappointed, but for the price I paid, it was a pretty good price. It had that safety strap in there I took out, but enough of that. I want to show you kind of an antique here and see if you ever seen such a thing. Okay, have y'all ever seen them bullet pencils where you pull the pencil thing out? I want one of those. I will have one again someday. When I was a kid, I prized having that, but I've never had one of these. It's just a toothpick holder. You got to get a kick out of some of these places. I mean, I live in the Midwest, but, you know, they talk about hick and redneck, and the guy was showing me some names of business cards he found in an old truck. I mean, think about it. Harv's, you can do this. Come on, straight face. Harv's Farm Supply manufactures of bush head changers, and I don't know what that is. Is that like a mower? We make the picking easier. The picking out there in Giltner, Nebraska. Area code 402. Well, that ain't too far out there. 402 is the eastern third of Nebraska. Giltner? We make the picking easier. I mean, come on. You wonder why I talk the way I do? There's no reason for, well, you know, I don't know what to say. I get an accent for watching too many YouTubers. I mean, I'm glad I don't watch a lot of people overseas or somewhere else, or I'd be talking like that too. Nothing against them. I just like wonky. How many of you picked up wonky because you watched something in Australia? Or A? Yep, that's all you Canadians' fault with your A. EH is how they usually put it in a comment. A. But come on. Tell me that ain't a nice guy that owns the place. With a name like that, he's got to be a nice guy. Go down to Harv's Farm Supply. That just made it all the worse. We make the picking easier. Yeah, I'm going to clean it up sometime. Oh, I'm going to be careful with it. But yeah, bullet pencils. Look them up. Google a picture of them. They were cool, man. You pull the metal thing out, it looked like a bullet tip out here, right? You pull it out, flip it around, you had a little stubby pencil. You just chopped the pencil down to fit in it. So that's how you worked it. But there you go. Let's go off to something else. We got to throw some comment. If it ain't fun, I don't want to do it. Y'all going to be thinking about this, ain't ya? Go down to Harv's Farm Supply. I don't know what bush head changers are. Or bish. They're bish head. Oh, I'm wrong. I have no idea what them are. I know combines have a corn picker head or a bag head on it for soybeans, and the other head for wheat. So y'all tell me you know what a bish head is. Farm equipment. And they manufacture it. Manufacturer of. Okay, we spent too much time on this, but it's Sunday in the shop. We'll make them a half hour. We don't care. If you don't like it, go away. I'm not really like that, but yes, I am. I'm not gonna lie. I get frustrated with people making smart comments. Why would you waste your time making that tool? You can just go buy. What if you're out in the middle of Nebraska? I could be out in Giltner, out there out on the farm, and I don't have a straighter valve tool. The boss is gone. I'm just going to grab a screwdriver and start grinding and make one with a hacksaw or something. There. See? I'm justified. I rest my case, Your Honor. I watch too much Perry Mason. Oh, yes, I do. How old are these toothpicks? We got to end this thing. How old are these things? Look how old and dry they look. Look how rusted that is. Well, tell you what, let me clean this up, we'll come back with it. Let's continue this. Let me clean this thing up, we'll come back to it. There it is, my next project, and it'll probably be the last thing for the week. Okay, we used some of our Goo Gone real carefully, and we stayed away from the letters, but it's better. Took some sandpaper to the rust, different grits, then blitzed it. You can see the edge with the sandpaper, you can still see it there, but you had some rust on it, more than what I really thought. There you go. Now I can just throw it back in the drawer somewhere, and I'll find it again some other day. But I got a kick on it, hope you did. Okay, on to something else before we go. Okay, YouTube, we're going to finish this week with a repair. See that where that split? I put oil there and went to put it in the tractor, and garden tractor, and you know what happened. So I had to hold it down like this and squeeze it in, so I wasted some. But these are just like ketchup, mustard bottles, condiment bottles. I do not know how many ounces it holds, but I could mow about one time use that much oil. I mowed twice and had to use that much oil, just about, because I'd filled this, so. It burns oil, but not bad. Okay, we're going to fix this with hot glue. We'll probably just use our turbo lighter to get the glue hot, because we can't find a candle. We'll take you over here to the desk and get away from this so we don't spill it. We'll show you how we're going to do it before we do it. Okay, I keep a bottle of water to cool it down. If I burn my finger, turbo lighter or a candle. Candle is better. And I'll just take a little piece off here with a razor blade off the glue stick. And I'll heat it up over the candle, and then I put it down on the crack, or what I need to glue. We can't glue it inside or it won't seal, so you'll see a bunch of globs on there. Then if you're brave, you can, when it's still warm, you can put your finger in water and smear it around. But don't be afraid if you get burnt once in a while. No, don't try not to get burnt. No, believe me, I burnt my finger on hot glue enough times. And I'm still dumb enough to do it. But yeah, keep you some cold water around. Spray bottle. It's kind of like a, whatever. Get a candle, get out of control. You know how the rules on that. Candle, you just snuff it out with something. But you might get your finger too hot or something. Okay, let's get this repaired. Then we'll be done. We just got done mowing our yard. The new belt I put on is working great. Starts up a lot quicker. It rolls over a lot better. Because that belt would slip once in a while. So enough of that topic. It's done and it runs. Oh, sure, then it stops. One of them hoo-hoo cuckoo birds. Some say it's a mourning dove. They're gray. They're smaller than a pigeon. You can see where that crack is. We're going to attempt to heat this up, glue up with a lighter now, and put some water on my finger and smear it. Can you hear it? After a while it can get annoying, but you can't complain. You get to hear the wildlife. I mean, come on, you're outside. You're not inside. It's no longer winter. Let's celebrate. And there you go. We're done. We did put a glove on. We heated the glue up with just a regular lighter and put our finger in the water. It's sealed. I put this against my hand and sucked on this. I washed this off with gas, so it's clean. So, I know it had no solvent or nothing, but it's the best I had to get the oil off. It looks like you know what, but anyway, and I went further past than where the crack is. But hey, when you're out on the farm and something breaks down, what are you gonna do? You're gonna drive nearest town from me is 7 miles away. See where it was in there? Look, watch. See that? And we went way past the crack. Okay, thanks for watching this week. We're out here. We're going to the house. It's going to be like 90 degrees today. It's a Thursday. I can't tell you what day it is. I can't even tell you. It's all a blur. These are just things I do during the week before the next Sunday, so you'll know about what date it is. See you on Sunday.